There were no streetlights on Broad Avenue. The great elms that used to arch over the wide street had fallen victim to Dutch elm disease decades ago, and the trees planted since seemed smaller, stunted, irregular, and ignoble in comparison. Some of the fine old homes along Broad still stood back behind their wide lawns, the houses dark and silent against the night wind. But like an old war veteran at a reunion, Dale was more aware of the missing houses than of the few survivors. He turned right onto Depot Street and drove the few blocks to his childhood home across the street from where Old Central School had stood. His home of 7 years was recognizable, but just barely. The huge old elm that had stood outside his and Lawrence's bedroom was gone, of course, and the new owners had long ago paved the short driveway and added a modern garage that did not go well with the American square design of the house. The front porch was missing its railings and swing. The old white clapboard had been replaced with vinyl siding. Jack-o'-lanterns and a bulging straw man in bib overalls had been set out on the porch in celebration of the holiday, but the candles had burned out hours earlier, leaving the jack-o'-lanterns' triangular eyes as black and empty as skull sockets. The rising breeze had scattered the straw man's guts to the wind. Old Central, of course, was gone. Dale had few clear memories of the summer of 1960, but he remembered vividly the building burning, embers flying orange against a stormy sky. Now the once grand square city block was filled with a few ratty-looking ranch houses, dark and incongruous amidst the older, taller homes on each side of the square, and all signs of the former school building and its huge playground had long since been eradicated. The tall sentinel elms around the school block were gone, of course, and no trees had been planted in their place. The tiny houses on the square, all built after 1960, looked exposed and vulnerable under the black sky. There were more gaps in the rows of homes facing the former schoolyard. The Somerset place next to Dale's old home was just gone, not even its foundation remaining. Across the street from the Somersets, Mrs. Moon's tidy white home had been bulldozed into a gravel lot. His friend Kevin's family home, a ranch house that had seemed modern and out of place in 1960, was still there on its slight rise of ground, but even in the dark Dale could see that it was unpainted and in need of repair. Both of the grand Victorian homes north of Kevin's house were gone, replaced by a short dead-end street with a few new homes, very cheap, crowded where the woods had once started. Dale continued slowly east past 2nd Avenue, stopping where Depot Street ended at First. Mike O'Rourke's home still stood. The tiny gray shingled house looked just as it had in 1960, except for the rear addition that obviously had taken the place of the outhouse. The old chicken house where the bike patrol had met was gone, but the large vegetable garden remained. Out front, staring sadly across First Avenue at the harvested field, the Virgin Mary still held out her hands, palms outward, watching from the half-buried bathtub shrine in the front yard. Dale had seen no trick-or-treaters. All of the homes he had passed had been dark, except for the occasional porch light. Elm Haven had few streetlights in 1960 and now seemed to have none at all. He had noticed 2 small bonfires burning in yards along Broad, and now he saw the remains of another fire, untended, burned down to orange embers, sparks flying in the strong wind, in the O'Rourke side yard. He did not recall bonfires being lighted for Halloween when he was a boy here. Dale turned left, past the small high school and left Elm Haven behind, turning west on Jubilee College Road at the Water Tower and accelerating north on County 6, hurrying the last 3 miles separating him from Dwayne McBride's farmhouse.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.